Hello, everyone. Just gonna do a. You have all the reviews of like people who actually play NHL, like Nasher and all that. Just gonna go through and do like kind of just a review from some no-name player who plays the game. Um, that way, don't really get any like bias, you know, opinions on the reveal trailer and stuff. Uh, to start off, overall, I think NHL's a dying game, but from the reveal trailer, we do see that at least EA has somewhat made changes, so we have to give them props for that. But for the most part, NHL, in my opinion, is a dying game, and I don't know if there's really anything that they could do to fix it. So here's just a average person's review of the trailer. To start off, we see Frostbite, which I'm gonna pause it, and to me, adding Frostbite, it is a step in the right direction, but at the same time, it is also it's. I'm not sure when the first Madden and like FIFA had Frostbite. To me, it's a little bit too late. NHL and EA could have completely made a whole new engine to run on, which overall I do give them credit because Frostbite is at least a step in the right direction, but it's just a little bit too late in my opinion. What they could have done was just create a whole new one, especially with PS5 and Xbox. It allows developers to create just something that's not there anymore. It gives them more freedom to create stuff, but it is a step in the right direction. The Unreal Engine that they used, we saw NHL. It kind of looked like a PS2 game, and it just didn't run like fluently. It didn't look good at all. It just looked kind of like it was just too. I don't know. It didn't take the console's potential into consideration. It didn't push it to the limit, and it just looked like an old game that you're playing. So we do have to give EA credit for that. It is at least changing. It looks way better. I will give them that. What else? We see lighting and all that way better. You see like players' jerseys and stuff more defined. Even the players look more realistic. The only issue I have is knowing EA, they're only gonna do like face scans of certain people or have like the certain people like the Crosbys, the McDavids, the Ovechkins, all that. They're gonna have their faces in the game. The rest are just gonna be generic people. Which in 2021, that's just it's a disappointment and a failure. You look at NBA, they have their face scans. Madden, they have some, but still, it's more of an EA problem, I guess, where they just don't have the face scans. A lot of them have generic faces and stuff, which we're in a time now. You should already have the face scans. You should already have that stuff in the game. I do want to go back though, because we see McDavid and Drysaitel. Let's go back to this. This is a little bit concerning. Although it does look nice, it looks beautiful. I will give EA that. To me, it shows that although like, they're doing the graphics update. To me, it still shows that potentially all the exploit goals are still going to be there. As you see, the cross crease one timer, which I get they do happen in real life, but at the rate they happen in EA, it's just unrealistic. Um, you do see how the player is playing the pass, which is at least a good thing. He's diving to prevent the pass. In past games, they would usually just play the player who had the puck. So we hopefully that's a sign that at least they're gonna. I can't say they're gonna completely remove exploit goals, but at least they're gonna try to like prevent them from happening more often. I just hope that's a decent sign. I don't know. EA in the past never really showed anything like that, so it is what it is, I guess. It is a decent sign, though, to see that the player's playing the pass, because at least I don't know. I don't want to give EA credit or anything and put it like make it seem like they're doing all they can, because I know eventually the game, especially if you look at Madden 22, it's a disappointment. NHL 22 is going to be a disappointment. But to me, that scene shows at least like maybe the AI was improved. You see the player actually playing the pass, but you also see that potential exploit goal still being there.
One that has been gradual and yet sudden.
Oh man, this actually does look
Because change is
wonderful
not
and
about
amazing.
the next trend. It is about the next.
The X Factors, I like the X Factors, especially like playing Madden and stuff. You see the X Factors do add a like bonus to the players. My two concerns are one, it's gonna make like certain players kind of unstoppable, and then the rest are gonna be just completely like it's gonna make the good players who have the like abilities and stuff are gonna be overpowered, while those who don't are just gonna be underpowered, and it's gonna you're gonna see that difference in games. The other concern I have is how they're going to implement this in like shell and stuff. If they're even going to put it in shell. To me, it's a definitely a decent addition. It's definitely a nice addition. But if it's in shell, is it going to work more like the abilities they have now, which are pretty useless? Or is it actually going to make a difference? And if they are incorporating it into shell, hopefully it makes a difference. Because right now, you add like traits and abilities on your player, it seems like they don't do anything. Like you add the passing, your players, especially whenever I've been playing, it seems like you add like passing and all that, and it's like, oh yeah, you pass actually worse than like you would without it and stuff. So I don't know. It's a good move on EA's part to add this, but at the same time, I just don't know if they're going to implement it well or if it's going to make that much of a difference. If it does, they need to find like a balance on it to make it to where it's at least it doesn't make the players who have it way too overpowered, and it also doesn't like make a difference on those who don't have it just way like useless. So hopefully EA gets that, but it is a good addition. I will give EA credit for that.
Generations.
I will say also it seems like they're adding, at least with the new engine, they're gonna have more goalie animations, which hopefully that is the correct thing, or hopefully that is in the game, because goalies in past NHLs, they're just awful. The animations are so bad. The exploit goals are there because the animations can't keep up with the goals. And any game you play in NHL, it's no longer a game of skill. It's just a game of who could exploit the game better using the exploit goals. So hopefully the goalie animations are better. The graphics look amazing. Also, like Crosby redirecting the puck there, even though I'm a Capitals fan. God Ovi coming down. All right, so the hits. Hopefully, the hits with the new engine look way more realistic, but at the same time, hopefully, they're not like Madden's hits. Madden's hits, to an extent, they are like decent hits, but some of the animations are just god awful. So hopefully, NHL doesn't do implement that. And then also, it'd be nice if, I don't know if they're going to do this or not, but it'd be nice if you could check people over the boards again. Uh, if they brought that back, the animations and stuff, especially with Frostbite, that'd be a great addition. It'd actually like kind of feel like a real NHL game again. I don't know. They just removed a lot of stuff over the past years that have just completely ruined the game, and which is why I think it's a dying game overall. But the hits, you see this hit, looks phenomenal. You see, like players reacting to the puck passes better. I'm hoping the AI is fixed. My biggest problem with the past NHL games was AI was just completely awful. You see, like even like user players, they would just stand there. The puck would be there. They would just let it go by them whenever it's like a pass that's easily you could easily pick up. It's just hopefully they've completely redone the AI. I love that animation. Once again, it still concerns me that the exploit goals are still going to be there. Let's see, Austin Matthews taking the breakaway. With a penalty shot. Looks phenomenal. That does concern me that Shell, the goalie AI, and Shell is going to be completely useless again. I mean, it looks phenomenal from a graphic standpoint, and hopefully this game runs in 4K and full HDR. Past NHLs didn't, so it just if you have a 4K TV, like it ran awful on it. But I get Shell also. I get like the threes and all that are supposed to be like an arcade type, but at least make the goalie somewhat better that way. Players who play like, I don't know. To me, it seems like EA dumbed down the game for people who aren't like good at it. But overall playing a game you should want to like challenge yourself. So at least EA like if anything add like a difficulty like mode that you could put on. Those who like haven't played the game a lot or not good, they could play on easy. Those who actually want a challenge could put it on like superstar or whatever. Because like threes and ones, it's so the goalies just play awful, and then you like I get you do the sick like goals and stuff in like an arcade mode, but still, it's like it's not fun and it's not a challenge. You don't get better from it. So I don't know. Hopefully they do something to at least make the goalies somewhat a little bit better. The diving animations, though, to block shots and all that, I hope they are way better in NHL 21. Either if you try to dive, like you have a 2-on-1, you try to dive. Your player dives in like the most, like he doesn't dive to protect the like play the passing lane or whatever. Half the time they don't even dive to block the shot correctly. A lot of the times you dive and then somebody will skate and do you and you'll get a tripping penalty. It's just it's a mess trying to block shots in NHL 20 or play even the passing lane. You see Gino skating around. I like how now you actually put your arm out to like prevent the player from trying to poke check it and stuff. Which I hope also at this they fix the poke check so you don't just trip people randomly. I like the crowd atmosphere in the trailer. And that's it, it looks like. Frostbite engine will win. Although it's a little bit, couple years behind of what it could be. But at least it's a step in the right direction. It looks like animations are going to be better. It looks like hopefully they've done some things to try to counteract exploit goals. So, in all honesty, for somebody who does not like NHL 22, I have to give it a, or NHL like games, NHL 2021 to me, they were all awful. There hasn't been a good NHL like since NHL 14. But from what the trailer scene has showed us, NHL 22, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for now. It, at least graphics are better. It looks like they're doing some things to like fix exploits, and at least hopefully the AI is better. Um, the X Factor abilities that they're adding does somewhat look better. So hopefully that adds a whole new aspect, but at the same time, I have a feeling they're going to mess it up. But overall, 7 out of 10 with definitely room to improve. Once they put out like gameplay trailers and stuff, hopefully we'll see more. And also, like, there are things like I know already. I got to give EA a win on this. All four, like PS4, Xbox One, Series X, and PS5 are going to have the Frostbite engine. That's definitely a win. And Shell being brought back to like your own classes that you could create, definitely a win. Because currently they're just awful picking pre-made classes, and then it's like, oh yeah, the only way you're fast is you have to make your player super small and super tiny, and it's not enjoyable. So hopefully that is a win. Gameplay trailer wise, I hope they've done a lot to the game. Like, we need to see AI better. We need to see animations better. Definitely need to see a franchise thing. Hopefully they brought back GM Connected, or at least some form of online franchise. If not, that's a huge L for them. I don't know why they ever removed it in the first place, especially franchise or like online franchise. Like, I get some aspects of it, like you can't have work, and to an extent it does take up like server space. But at the same time, allow people to play with their friends online in a franchise. See who's the better GM and all that. Like, there's ways to do it. You don't have to incorporate like a superstar mode into it. Although I think that would be sick if you could do a superstar mode with your friends and like be drafted to the same team and stuff. It definitely would be sick. But at the same time, it's like EA tries to. I don't know. They just don't do stuff basic, like the basics. They just they take out things that should be in the game. They try to go like too like like the story mode. Madden story mode awful. NHL story mode awful. Just put a superstar mode in that somewhat feels like a superstar mode. You don't have to make it a story. You're not going to be 2K with NBA. Just make it a basic like mode where it feels like, oh yeah, you're somewhat of a hockey player. Like, you keep things basic. You don't have to make everything like so like, oh, we got to do this and this. Just keep it basic, make sure it's good, and then add later. But 7 out of 10 on the trailer, and this is from somebody who just a random Joe, doesn't no saying in the NHL community, no whatever, just a random person playing. 7 out of 10. There's some good things that I've seen. There's some bad things I've seen. And to an extent, this actually is one that I'm kind of excited for. Hopefully we see more whenever the beta comes out, and more with gameplay reveal trailers. And from that, hopefully we see like the game actually somewhat become a better game and stop being somewhat of a dying game. So that's it. Have a good day, everyone. And once they release gameplay trailers and stuff, I will do reactions to them as well. Thank you.